Here we are together again on the radio. And you may know that your professor many times in the guise of Leykis 101 has told you more than once that if a woman tells you she's pregnant, that if a woman tells you that you better live up to your responsibility, if a woman tells you she wants child support, if a woman somehow suckers you into wanting to be in a relationship with her, getting engaged to her, getting married, whatever, get a DNA test. Don't take no for an answer. I have gone so far on the air as to tell men to get a DNA test on their kids, regardless of how old they are, and regardless of whether they can recover the child support money they've been paying wrongly. And many of you have taken your professor's advice and done this. You know, chicks are bigger sluts today than they've ever been before, which is great when you're single. It's great when you want to get laid. But may I tell you something? It's not so great when they try to hit you up for cashola. It's not. And many times women will try to intimidate you into not getting a DNA test by saying, "You don't trust me! You don't trust me! I can't believe it that you don't trust me!" Don't let that stop you. If you have to get the DNA sample surreptitiously, do it. Get the test. If you've been told you've got children, get it. Now, I've been telling you this for a long time, and I imagine some of you have acted upon my advice. And I am wondering if you've done this. Maybe you're married, maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe it was a one-night stand. Maybe you know in your heart you're not the father of that kid. Did you tell her you were getting the DNA test? Did you do it without telling her? Was the result different from what she told you? How did she react when you told her you had the DNA evidence that you were not the father of that little crumb-crunching bastard?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Lady, how old are you?
I'm 41 years old.
You're over the hill.
I mean, I can't waste my time with you. The point of me calling in was not to talk to some immature man that wants
You're a wrinkled douchebag.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The DNA test. What happened when you did that? Jose, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, Jose. How about you?
Pretty good, Tom. Hey, before I forget, can you take me out with a bong hit after I tell you my story?
All right.
All right. Basically, I took a DNA test about last month, actually, and I'm waiting for the results.
How old is the child?
She's 5 years old now.
She's 5.
But this is the story, Tom. I used to be with her, and 2 years, we broke up, and then 2 years later, she tells me that I have a daughter with her. And me being so naive, I assumed the responsibilities. I took her in as mine, and just little by little, I started putting things together. And one day, this guy from her work told me that he was the father. And so me and him basically started talking, and we both went out and took a DNA test, and now we're just waiting for the results.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine if both of you are the father.
I wouldn't doubt it, man.
Wow. Now, did she put you down like on any legal paperwork as the father?
Check it out, Tom. This is what I did. I went and I did it myself, and I told her to do it with me, to put it down that I was giving her $300 a month as a child support, because I had a child from another woman, and she was trying to take me to the cleaner. So what I did was to try to, split up the money. Mm-hmm. And so she was able to work with me, but all this time she was lying to me. So I have a feeling now that looking at the other dad, or the other guy, he knew her for the first 2 years of her life, and then he went off with another girl, and he gave her an ultimatum, and he left they left. My daughter's mom and her just went out. I don't know what she did, but he stopped seeing her, and then she came to me and told me that I was the dad.
Wow. So you can't wait to get these results, and when you do, will you be thrown in her face? How are you going to do this?
You know what? Really, this chick is like ghetto hood rat, man. I mean, I really don't think she's in the right environment in that situation where she lives. She parties with all the cholos from the neighborhood, and I've heard all these stories about her, and I know that they are true, because that's how I met her, and I think I just want her to be mine, but at the same time, I need to take her away from her, and I'm going to surprise her with all that. I'm going to get an investigator. I'm going to find out what she's up to, and then get some lawyer.
And get a lawyer to kick her ass. Now, you didn't marry her, did you?
I want to beat her ass, honestly, but
you didn't marry her, did you?
No. I mean, hell no.
Okay. Making sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good luck, Jose. I'm proud of you for going out and doing that. How did you get the DNA sample, by the way?
I went to that, I don't know, with the Montel Williams and all that, put out those numbers.
Yeah.
Well, I got the number from there.
Right. How did you get the sample from this child that's supposed to be yours?
Well, see, I have her the problem is I have her like 5 days out of the week.
So what do you do, cut a lock of her hair? How do you do that?
They go into your mouth, and then they get these swabs, these Q-tip swabs, and they just, take, 3 swab sticks from each side of your lip, and, they just, I had to keep telling my daughter we were going to the dentist, because she tells her everything, and she's always trying to find out what I'm up to, and,
I'll bet she is. She's probably afraid you're going to find out the truth.
Yeah, in a way, I'm already, coming to the realization that, that she's probably not mine, but, I still love her, and, I don't know, I guess I'm not taking your advice all the way, but I just, I guess I'm too compassionate for her, and...
You can love her, but not give that slut of a mother of hers any more money.
Hell no, man. And then she has the nerve, after... We take care of her for 5 days out of this week, and she still has the nerve to ask me for money,
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and she's real ghetto, man. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let us know what happens.
All right, Tom.
All right, Jose.
Take me out, brother.
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Joey on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Joey.
What's happening?
It's doing a radio show here, pal.
That's right. Somebody's got to do it, and you are the man.
Thank you.
Hey, you know what? That happened to me. I was, I've seen more tales on the local gas station toilet seat, and one of these booty calls that I was nailing gave me the old knock at the door one day and told me that she was preggo with my baby.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, no way, you're just a booty call. I told her from the gate what time it was. If you want to go out and you want to have a good time, you want to go with me. But all this relationship or anything like that, I said, I'm not down for it. I don't have time for it. I'm a busy man. I work. I got to make a living. So she comes at me and tells me she's pregnant, and then after the baby's born, comes back. I don't hear from her again. Comes back and tells me that this is your son. Why haven't you spend any time with him, and I don't have any money, and you need to start helping out, or I'm going to go to the DA. And I said, well, did you put me down on the birth certificate? She says, no. I say, okay, so, I'm trying to hold her off because I don't want to get the new stuff that's coming out where you hang out with the child and build a relationship, and they take you to the cleaners.
That's right.
So I said, okay. So I gave her a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there, until I could talk one of my other booty calls into getting the kid. So I told her, it's my birthday this weekend, and I'm gonna have my girlfriend come pick him up so that I can spend time with him with my family.
Uh-huh.
And she went for that. So I told this girl, I said, well, when you go there, make sure she gives you a copy of his birth certificate and a letter saying if anything happens to him that we could take him to the doctor, in case he gets hurt or something.
Uh-huh.
So she gets just a regular copy of the birth certificate, nothing legal, just right out of the old copy machine, and gets a note saying that, if anything happens that I could take him to the doctor. And I had her take him to the DNA test center in Burbank. And I got the number through 1-800-DNA-TEST. And that's all you need is the birth certificate saying the actual name of the child. And you take that with your address and have both of the results sent to your house. So what I did was I had the baby's name and mine. The baby went in there first. I didn't even need to be there. Got swabbed. I went in there as soon as I could and got blood tested, and they sent the results to my house, Tom. All right? So I open up the kid's DNA test because I got both letters at the house. And I read it, and I see on the test it'll tell you you're 98% positive that it's yours or 100% positive that it's not yours. That's how the test result comes out for a fact. All right? So comes out as 100% not mine.
Wow.
So So I give a call to her and her new husband. She's married at this point, just got married, right?
Yeah.
And they come over and they start explaining to me that I need to give them money. They need money. And they both sat across from me, her and her new husband. And I've been playing it real low key, and because I need to find out what the deal is before she tries to rape me because I make good money. So I set them both down across from me and said, well, you remember when I had the kid for my birthday? I said, well, she told me I could get a DNA test anytime, and I did.
Wow.
And she just kind of gave me a look, and her old man said, well, what are the results? So what I did was I showed her the letter from the DNA test center. It hadn't been opened because I'd already opened one. This is the other letter.
Yeah.
There's one addressed to you and one addressed to the kid. All right? So I open up the one that's addressed to either one or the other. I don't remember which. And I act like I'm reading it, knowing full well exactly what time it is, that this stupid slut, has screwed up. So I act like I'm reading it, and they're all, so what's the verdict? So I read it to him. I said, my name, and I said, is 100% not the father. And her mouth just dropped. She turned pale white. Her husband freaked out, stood up, and said, I think you owe this man an apology. And she started crying, and she said, I'm sorry. And I called her a dirty whore and told him, you better think twice about this, what you got going right now, because she was knocked up with his kids supposedly at the time. And so all you guys out there, I don't care what they say and how they say it, and you need to feel sorry for nobody. And taking somebody else's responsibility is not your responsibility.
Right.
You need to handle your business, boys, and you need to listen to Tom, and you need to go out and get the test, and they don't need to be there. You don't have to put it up front. Hey, I'm going to want a DNA test. Don't start that kind of drama in your life, because if it is, you're only going to go through a bunch of worse crap. So I'll tell you right now, gentlemen, the thing to do is do it on the sly, and she doesn't have to be there. You just have to have a copy of the birth certificate, and you can go down to anywhere and get a copy of that. And all you got to do is tell them that it's all for the fact that in case anything happens to the kid while he's in your possession, especially nowadays with all these predators walking around, you don't want no cop coming up and asking you, hey, what are you doing with this kid if you got no proof that it's yours? So they need to get you that copy, and you got boys that are good to go down there and get that DNA test, and they'll swab the kid. It doesn't hurt him, doesn't do nothing. Give him your blood, and that's it. They'll give you the test, and you'll know before she knows, that's for sure.
I love it, I love it, I love it. Thank you, Joey. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Marty on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Try to make this short. I had a situation like that happen to me about 16 years ago. The child, it happened 16 years ago. Then I found out like 3 years ago that the child wasn't mine. So this is how it happened. I mean, I knew that the child wasn't mine, right? After a couple of years, anybody would be able to tell if you observe.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna let this play out, and sooner or later the truth will come out.
Yeah.
So I was just lucky that I was right, and when the test came out, it said that it was 100% not mine.
Yeah.
The child was 14 at the time, and she found out and tried to commit suicide. So I'm just basically, telling the women that they need to think about the child.
That's right.
Not so much as about what they think they would want.
I don't think they ever think about the child. I think they think about their own fulfillment, themselves, having baby showers, having people say, isn't that cute? And they don't really think about the implications of doing something like this when you get pregnant.
Yeah, I'm like, the child tries to get in touch, and I just cut off all contact. So she's, whatever happens, I kind of feel for the child, but in a way, it has to be done. I mean, and I think people should know this is possible. The child is basically ruined, and that's about it.
Marty,
take me out, Snoop Dogg, for all the women that are doing it, and for all the guys that let it happen.
All right, here you go, Marty. Biatch. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Carrie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Carrie.
How you doing?
Do you care?
No, not really.
I see.
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry. I had my ex-boyfriend do the same thing to me. We're back together, but he tried to pull a DNA test on me when my son was about 2.5 years old, and the test came back positive. It was his.
Had you been with other people during that time?
We got together. It was a sticky situation. We were together for only a few months before I got pregnant, and I was with somebody about a month before him, and it was a kind of a friend of his, but he thought it, that person's baby, and he didn't want to take responsibility or pay child support or help me out at all. So after we did the DNA test, test came back positive, 99.99% sure. Called him up and just laughed in his face that it was his.
Wow, wow, wow.
And he didn't call me for about 6 months after that.
Yeah, but now you're back with him.
Yeah, I'm back with him. He's changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hi, Carrie. Thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Did you make her give you that DNA sample? Did you take the DNA test?
The Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Have you gotten the DNA test? Daniel on the Tom Leykis Show.
How's it going, Tom?
Hi, Daniel.
Oh, let me tell you. 3 months ago, I got a court-appointed DNA test. But let me start at the beginning. For 5 years, I've been seeing this girl off and on. We got pretty serious, got engaged. Every time that we made love or, had sex or did the deal, I always used a condom. I work 18-hour days, support her little dogs and stuff like that, while she sits at home, bakes, cooks, does whatever she wants. We ended up having 2 kids. I have a 2.5-year-old son and a 4.5-month-old son. And all of a sudden, come, more in the beginning, because my best friend moved in with us because, he was out on the streets. I was like, screw it, come on, come live with me, you're my boy. I was getting a little suspicious here and there. They were getting a little lovey-dovey, when I come home from work. And, we got in a bunch of fights over it, so I kicked her out a couple times, so she established child support. I'm paying child support every month on the dot, even send her extra cash under the table. So I'm paying about $2,500 a month in child support. And that's not including the extra cash that I pay. And come to find out, I let her move back in. We're doing this, we're doing that, we're just trying to work things out. And I come home one night, and pants are all over the place, and I walk in the room, and she's banging my best friend. So I'm like, you know what, screw this. I'm going to go get a DNA test. So I go to my court-appointed attorney and say, look, she's been taking me for child support for 2.5 years. I want a DNA test. He's all, you know what, all right, we'll tell it to the judge. The judge sits her down, says DNA test. I get them, and boom, they're both not mine. And then come to find
wow, both of them were not yours.
Both of them, not mine. And I've paid at least, over the 2.5 years, at least $10,000. And I'm only 23. I mean, I got a good job. You know, I had no problem supporting my children. I love them to death. They're my world. But come to find out, they're not mine. And she told me they're both his.
Really?
My best friend.
And she knew it.
And she knew it. Apparently, they both knew it. They've been having this whole secret little life going around while I'm at work.
And did they try to tell you they were doing this for your own good so they wouldn't hurt you?
Something like that, because I guess she saw how I was with them, you know?
Right.
I mean, I work overtime, but my weekends are like my vacation time. It was always me and the kids.
So what did you do?
I'm only 23 years old.
What did you do when your wife told you?
Oh, I went on a rampage and destroyed my house, Tom.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. I took doors off hinges, glass off walls, dishes, just all of it, like War of the Roses style.
Wow.
I was pissed, because that's my life, you know?
Wow.
Those were my kids. That's what I worked my fingers to the bone for. And I'm only 23, Tom.
Wow.
You know, I make good money. I haven't graduated high school, but I'm a marketing executive for Thrifty Rent-A-Car.
Now, after that, about a time, though, she could still nail you for child support, right?
That's what my lawyer's saying.
Yeah. Because I think in California it's a year or two.
I believe it's 2.
Is it 2 here? Yeah. Well, so that's the deal. If you don't prove this within 2 years, you're screwed.
Basically,
if she successfully lies to you for 24 months, that's all she has to get away with, and then she can take your money for the next 16 years after that.
It's not that, you know, I never minded paying. It's when I thought they were mine, but...
No, but of course, that's all the difference in the world. They're your best friend.
You know, I'm always using a condom, birth control. You know,
what'd you do to your best friend, by the way?
Oh, he's not too happy right now. I got a court case pending on that one.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do, for assault.
Beat the crap out of him?
Oh, he was put in the hospital for at least a week and a half.
Oh, my God. What did he say to you?
Oh, he didn't have time to speak.
Wow.
I went straight to his work, pulled him out of work, over the counter of the pizza place, and just beat the crap out of him right there in front of his coworkers and customers.
And then he sued you?
Yep.
Wow.
And he pressed charges, and most likely I'm facing about 6 to 9 months.
Wow. Well, it's going to be kind of hard to pay child support then, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. But you know what? I still got a big grin on my face just because of that. It made me feel a little bit more at ease.
And how has this changed the relationship with those children?
Those children, I haven't seen them since, 2.5 months ago? Basically, I mean, I still want to see them because I still consider them mine, regardless of what this a-hole is doing right now, because, you know, he's not the father. I don't care what anybody says. You know, it takes any fool to, be a daddy, but it takes a real man to be a father as far as I'm concerned. And he hasn't done anything about it. He sat on the sideline and let me do it.
And how is your relationship with that whore?
That whore?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm discussing with my lawyer. He works my cases pro bono, of course, because he's a family friend. Apparently there's a sanction or something, you know, where I can sue the crap out of her and her family.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm trying to pursue that.
I'd love to see more of that, more court cases, more lawsuits against these women who defraud men that way.
You know, and the fact is, you know, I'm trying to do the right thing, and not to be bad-mouthing other men out there, but that don't take care of their responsibilities.
Right.
And I'm only 23, Tom. You know, I still have a lot of life to live, but I settled down, worked, had my family. You know, the typical dogs, white picket fence thing going on.
You thought you had your family.
Yeah,
Your best friend was taking care of that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Oh, when I get tequila, things happen.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom, it's Chris. Hello.
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 How are you?
Do you care, Chris?
Yes, I do.
I'm doing great.
Good. I love you.
Really?
I absolutely love you so much.
Wow.
I am a 23-year-old single mother. I had a DNA test. The test proved that the father was the father. He decided not to stick around, which I'm totally okay with. Whatever. I've made my bed, and I've laid in it. You give excellent advice. When my daughter was born, she was born in 1998, and according to my lawyer, then, at the time, in the state of California, before a father puts his name on the birth certificate, a DNA test has to be taken to prove that he is the father of that child.
Really?
Before his name gets put on the birth certificate.
I never heard of a mandatory DNA test.
You can no longer put Joe Blow's name on that DNA test. And for all the guys out there that have stuck by the you-know-what, that have claimed...
Bitches and hoes.
There you go. That have claimed that those are their kids. I applaud you very much, and I'm sorry if it ended up not being your kid. But for all the females out there, because I don't think like all of them do, I feel very sorry for you that you have to put the blame on somebody else because you think that would be best for your child. Because what's best for your child is you being a woman, sticking up for yourself and taking care of your child, not making a man be there for you.
Right. Well, especially a man who is not involved.
If what now? My phone's cutting
A man who's not involved, like dragging a man in who you know is not the father of that child.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that. Any female that does that, your mother didn't raise you right, or your mother did raise you right, but you're just being a total bitch. And you should grow some and not do that.
Absolutely. Jeff on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, is this Tom?
No, did you want to talk to Tom?
Hey, Professor, don't play with me.
Oh, okay, yes.
How you doing, buddy?
Do you care, Jeff?
Oh, I care a lot, man. I'm down here with thousands of listeners out in Orange County. I'm Mission Viejo.
Oh, we're one of the top 5 stations in Orange County.
I know you are, buddy. I've been listening to you for about 10 years.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I wish I would have had access to the professor's book earlier, though, man.
By the way, be sure to ask your doctor if the Tom Leykis Show is right for you.
Oh, not a problem. I know the paralegal I went to see during the divorce had you on when we were in there doing our papers.
Wow.
Yeah, and the ex didn't like you at all. It was a great hour and a half we spent in his office because he never turned it off.
So what happened to you, Jeff?
Anyways, I met this girl about 20 years ago, and she worked for my mom for about 6 years. I started dating her 14 years ago. And 90 days into the relationship, I woke up on a Saturday morning and I had a positive plus sign on my chest, one of them pregnancy tests. That's how she told me she was pregnant.
Uh-huh.
She left it on my chest and went to work.
Yikes.
It was a shock. I mean, I don't know if she read that in some Vanity Fair magazine or what, but it was a shock. And, we had the baby and everything was cool. And a couple years later, we decided to go ahead and get married. Everything's going good. And she gets pregnant again. And, about 3 years ago, I caught her cheating on me. And it was with a gentleman who was on my son's Little League team, one of the other fathers.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's another story, but it was a bad deal. And we ended up splitting up over it. And we ended up going to the paralegal and doing the paperwork. You know, I was with my gift of gab, I was lucky enough to talk her into that instead of getting a lawyer and me having to pay for both parties. And we got all the property settled, and we ended up going to child division to decide what the support was going to be. Well, when we got in there, they hit me at, it was $1,880-something. It was almost $1,900 they hit me for the 2 kids.
Right.
And I asked for a DNA test. Just out of the blue, I decided to ask for one to give me some more time. And ended up going to this place in Long Beach and doing the DNA swabs. And it come back, my 9-year-old wasn't mine.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
Never knowing this.
And so what did you do about that?
What I tried to do, the commissioner there doing the child support deal put me on child support at that figure for the 60 days until we came back. And when we came back and they had that, she told me I still had to pay for another 60 days when we would come back. So I said, fine. What I probably should have done was get a lawyer.
Of course.
But the thing I'm torn as far as getting a lawyer, that gets my 9-year-old involved, and he knows no other one but me as his father.
Right.
I don't know if I just couldn't take that. I didn't want to put him through it. I don't want him finding out. They ended up hitting me. My child support now is $2,200 a month, Tom.
Wow.
And, my name's on the birth certificate. I've been the acting father for 9 years. And even though she didn't have to tell me, basically what they were telling me, unless I got a high-priced lawyer and went and fought it, is that I'm responsible.
Wow.
And it comes out that she told me that...
By the way, you're a different man from me. I tell you this, if that happened to me, I'd be gone. I'd be gone. If they made me pay, what choice would I have? But I would be out of the picture.
Yeah, Tom, I would do that, but I grew up without a father. My mom split when I was 6 months old. She was in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
So I swore that my boys were going to have a dad all times.
Right.
So there was
obviously your wife didn't care.
Obviously she didn't, and I could tell that by the way she screwed around so close to home, being with someone on my son's Little League team.
Right, and then how did she explain that to you when you found that out?
Well, you know how I found that out? I was at work. I'm in the car business, and I get a phone call from her employer telling me that there's a police officer picking her up on her lunch hours, and that he just went through something where his wife was screwing around, and he thought I should know about it.
Wow.
And this gentleman happened to be a CHP officer. I don't know if I could say that.
Well.
But he was an officer, and helped her on a thing that she got, and that's how they met. He was on our Little League team, but she got in a little trouble with a ticket, and he helped her. Well, then I think she had to pay him back. You know how women pay back.
Yes, I do. Wow.
But, that's, to me, with this child support issue, Tom, I watched my mother raise me by herself until I was 12. And she was, a single woman working 2 jobs and out there playing baseball with me. I played college football, but she was the one playing sports with me and going to every one of my games and working 2 jobs and chasing my real dad. I remember going with her in 1970, 71-ish in that area. I was 6 or 7 for $100 a month, chasing him from job to job to get $100 a month.
Unbelievable. What an amazing story.
Tom Leykis. Tom Leykis. 1-800-800-TOM.
People fantasize about 14 and 15 and 16-year-old girls all the time. What are you going to do? Put them all in prison? Put everybody up to a lie detector test? Ask people if they fantasize about the girl across the street when she wears a thong bikini? You're going to put these people in prison? What are you talking about?
Well, where do you draw the line?
I drew the line for you, you idiot! Get off the phone.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah. The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello here to Bill on the Tom Leykis Show.
How you doing, Tom?
Okay, Bill.
Well, I was dating a girl about, 2000. Dated her for a couple months. She turned out to be a drama queen. And let's just write it down. And about 3 months later, after I dumped her, she gives me a call and she says, "Hey, I'm pregnant." And we did have an accident with a rubber where it broke. And so I'm like, "Oh, great." So, and I said, "Well, I'll do the right thing." I said, "I'm not going to get back with you." I said, "But I'll pay child support if it's mine." So, we need to have a DNA test done, and if it turns out that I'm the father, then great. I'll, go ahead and pay what I have to pay, but don't count on me letting you move in or anything. It was the last I ever heard of her.
Wow, wow, wow. So you never had to pay anything?
What's this?
So you never had to pay anything?
Oh, no, I never paid a thing. I was pretty sure it wasn't mine because the time didn't add up exactly, and she was acting pretty, she was a little desperate. And I would have, no matter what, I would have asked for a DNA test, because that's just the smart thing to do.
Absolutely. One last call here. David on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom.
David.
I'm listening to this, and I'm just getting more and more and more angry as I hear what is happening with these bitches and these children. These laws are supposed to be so that we are keeping the best interest of the child in mind. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, why is it then that these children are left in the custody of these women who will lie, cheat, and steal?
Because we allow women to lie, cheat, and steal. It's all legal. Women can commit fraud. Enron can't commit fraud, but if a woman wants to commit fraud, it's okay.
The Tom Leykis Show.